This was a catastrophic failure on behalf of the Secret Service that needs to be investigated by Congress.
We died for Trump.
Within 24 hours of an assassination attempt against Trump's life, his supporters are out in force, showing their encouragement. If anything, they support Donald Trump more now than they ever did.
We don't want to ever see that happen to Trump again.
Keep an ear out for all those honking horns. Within the past 24 hours, there was an assassination attempt against former President Donald Trump at one of his rallies in Pennsylvania. He appeared to have an injury over his right ear. He then came to where I am now in Bedminster, New Jersey, to his golf property to recover. At this moment, he's there with his inner circle, recovering and preparing to head to Milwaukee for the Republican National Convention. This is the big political event where he is officially named the Republican presidential nominee, and he will name his vice presidential nominee. Now, the reason I said pay attention to all those horns you hear is because this is where a whole number of supporters of Donald Trump have gathered with their Trump flags and MAGA flags and hats to show their support for their presidential candidate. Now, typically during the Trump administration, when he would leave his golf course and head to the airport, he would cross this intersection on this road and wave and encourage his local supporters. We're standing by right now to see if that happens. A short time ago, I reported for CBS News on what we know at this stage.
Errol, we understand that Trump is there now. Anything that you can tell us about his itinerary for the day?
Hey there, Lana. Well, let's keep in mind, Bedminster is one of his homes away from home during his presidency. This is where he would spend some of his weekends when you split that with Mar-a-Lago in Florida. And so I remember covering him at the time, coming to New Jersey, and it's clear that at this moment he's there with his inner circle and he's recovering. One of his former assistants, Andrew Giuliani, came to the location where we are now to say that this was a catastrophic failure on behalf of the Secret Service and that needs to be investigated by Congress. But for those close to President Trump, it is a moment to let the shock sink in as the former president heads into an incredibly consequential week for his campaign. I can share that CBS News understands that at some point this afternoon, the former president will depart his Bedminster golf course and head en route to a regional airport before heading to Milwaukee. But it's possible he could cross this location because during his presidency, this was typically a place where he would visibly show support to Trump supporters who have been here on this street corner this morning, and they all have connected the rhetoric to the outcome of this assassination attempt. So perhaps as a moment where America understands the connection between the rhetoric and violence that can take place in real time.
We don't want to ever see that happen to Trump again.
So how do you feel now?
Now, disgusting. I love Trump. He's my president. He's my country. That's it.
Can you believe an assassination attempt took place?
We knew that somebody would try some shit, but, you know, you got people that you can't trust neither.
And what do you
None
make
of
of the...
None of us can trust anybody. Have we learned that?
What do you make of the shooter being a registered Republican?
He was a registered Republican, then he gave money to the Democrats.
That's right, $15 he donated to
Right.
Democrats. What do you make of it?
So maybe it's just a nut. We have some nuts stop by here once in a while. You know, act like they're friends of ours and they're not. So we're used to their lies. So we feel everybody out to see who's right and who's wrong. Because we don't ever want to see Trump get hurt.
Now you're hearing a lot of people honking their horns and showing support. How does that make you feel?
When we started doing this, you get maybe 5–10%. Now you get so many people blowing their horns. Come on, FedEx. Come on, FedEx. We love Trump. We die for Trump. No, he's my country. I die for my country. I would die for Trump.
So that Trump supporter named Willie was telling me exactly how he feels at this moment, and you heard it from him. The sentiment among many Republican Trump supporters is that their support for him has now only been fortified. It's increased. They are even more passionate about making sure he gets back into the White House this November. The Republican National Convention kicks off, where there'll be many aspects of Trump's administration and campaign that will be touted, including his vice presidential pick. But for this moment, it's really remarkable that within 24 hours of an assassination attempt against Trump's life, that his supporters are out in force, showing their encouragement, and that, if anything, they support Donald Trump more now than they ever did.